Welcome to Tuesday's Tips from So Very Easy. My name is Laura, and it is June, and it is time for the Shades of Grey block of the month from Quilting Confections. I'll put a link in the description for the free pattern for you. And this month's block is a pinwheel, and it's very, very easy to do. And you need to start with 4 fabrics. So your fabric choice is easy. A black and white, a white and black. Of course, a gray to go with the theme of Shades of Gray, and the turquoise. And we've been using this color throughout. And this is the kicker fabric. This is the one that's going to make it shine. And to start with, you need to have these 4 colors in a 6.5 inch block. So 4 at 6.5 inches. Then the next thing you need to do is cut it on the diagonal. So you will have 4 triangles. And just put them in a stack, and do this for all 4 pieces. So let's start with the turquoise one and have the center placed into the center. The gray center is going to go beside. Both those were the centers. The black is now going to go into the center. And then the last center point of the black and white are going to go together. And this is the entire block. So what you will need to do is sew these components together. You're going to match the center point and sew up right off the edge and make your seam a 1/4 inch. And do the same here. So you're going to match up the center point and sew down a 1/4 inch. And sew all of these units together. The next thing is going to be to sew the seams together here. But in order to do that, the seams must go in the opposite direction. So I would recommend pressing the seam to the dark side on the black one, and then the seam going in this direction, so that the seams are going in opposite directions, and then they will nestle together very nicely in the corner here. Line them up and sew 1/4 inch from one end all the way to the next. And that center will come nice together because of the opposing seams. And this is how the back looks. But we want to continue pressing this in the same direction, so you have a seam going this way and this way. So we want to have that go in a circular motion. And to press the seam that way and then this way, what you need to do is just scratch it a little bit, and that seam is going to come apart a little bit. And when you open it up, it's going to look like a little 4 patch here. And you can see that the threads are loose, and that's what you're going to want. Don't trim those threads, just leave the threads long. And now you're going to be able to take this to the iron and press the seams so they go in this circular motion. And by doing that, this point here on the other side is going to lie nice and flat. So open up that center to all 4 of your blocks and press those seams down. Your 4 identical blocks are done. Now this needs to be squared up to a 5.5 inch square. We started with 6.5, now we're going to square it down to 5.5. The easiest and quickest way is with this Eleanor Burns square up ruler. It has a 5.5 inch line here, but it also has a 45-degree angle going from corner to corner. So this is really going to be quick and easy. So you're going to take your block, and the line that's going from corner to corner is going to match the line going from corner to corner on your ruler. The 5.5 inch mark is going to go right through the center on the other 45-degree angle. So you have the 5.5 inch on one and the 45 going down the other. Now you're able to trim off the one side. You're going to be able to turn the ruler over and do the other side. Same thing. 5.5 inches is going to go along that center line, and the 45 is going to go down the center. Make sure your two crosses match, and you're able to trim it off. Now you have a perfect 5.5-inch square. Your center marks are remaining centered, and your angles are perfect in the corners. Do this to all of the blocks. 4 blocks are done, all identical. Your center mark is going to be the black and white. And you can just take this and turn it as if you're pivoting from the center. And that is how your finished block is going to look. So you need to sew the components together. You're going to sew the 2 here and the 2 here. So line them up, and your seams will nestle together because they're opposing each other. And sew a 1/4 inch down on each side. Then fold them over and match your points. So a 1/4 inch from one side to the other side. Our centers match perfect. Now to press, it's going to be the same concept. You want to keep these seams going in a circular motion. The seam is going in this direction, so this is going to come in this way, and that's going to go down there. And again, if you just give a little tug, the seams will open. If not, just get a little pin and just loosen up the threads so that will lay flat. And with that pressed flat, the block is nice and flat here, and the block is done. Now let's talk about a couple of things that makes this block so easy to do. We first of all took 4 colors and divided them up. By doing that, we were able to arrange the colors any way we wanted to. So you did not have to use this color selection. You could have changed it. And you do not have to limit yourself with only 4 colors. You could do this with all your scraps. As long as your triangles are the same size, then you're able to do it. Another thing, by having all of the pieces cut first, you're able to stack them and bring them to the machine and sew them together all at one time. As long as you keep your components the same and square them up the same, you can make this block any size at all. You'll be able to make an entire quilt with this pattern, or you can just make this one block a lot bigger. So I started with 4 squares at 10.5 inches. So I had 4 of the green, the purple, the blue, and the yellow. Again, I cut them on the diagonal, then I sewed them together. I squared them up to be a 9.5 inch square here. So this is a 9.5 inch. And you have a really big block. Put 6 of these together with a border, well, you would have a quilt done. And again, you can use any color combination that you would like. A very easy block to put together with a lot of possibilities. This would look really, really cute as a scrappy quilt. You could use darks, lights, and mediums and use up a whole pile of fabric and make an entire quilt from this easy block. Or you can make a big square like this fabric from Timeless Treasures. However you make it, it is a very quick, easy, and fun block to make. Thank you for joining me today on So Very Easy. Feel free to subscribe, and as always, come on back. Let's see what we're sewing next time in the sewing room. Bye for now.